Hi guys, today I'm going to teach you how to make a chocolate swirl cheesecake. Here are the ingredients you'll need. 300 grams of chocolate biscuit. These are called chalk ripples. 100 grams of melted butter. 3 eggs. 300 grams of sour cream. 100 grams of caster sugar. 500 grams of cream cheese, and 100 grams of dark chocolate, or chocolate buttons. The first step is to preheat your oven to 160 degrees Celsius. Secondly, put all your chocolate biscuits in the food processor. Cover the food processor and click it in, and then start processing the biscuit at low. Once the biscuits are mostly crumbled, so it should look like this. Can you see? So it's all nice and crumbly. There are no more whole biscuits left. Yeah? So it should look like something like that. You can start adding the melted butter. Now it should look something like this. Okay. Next, what we want to do is we want to get these buttery crumbed biscuits into the pan that you'll be cooking in or baking in, and just press them down all over the base of the pan. So I've got a fairly large pan here. Now if you want a thicker cheesecake, you want to get a pan that's smaller in diameter, but I like to have my cheesecakes nice and thin but quite large. So that's why I'm using a very large pan. Okay, so just get the chocolate biscuits, and just pour them on to the pan. So, okay. And then we just need to press it into the pan. So, like this, just with your hands, just press it in all over. You want to cover the entire base of the pan. And just keep patting it until it's nice and even, and you get about a centimeter around the edge. Alright, so once pressed, it should look something like this. The entire base is covered, and there's bits of it coming off the edge, about 1 centimeter. Then you take this and refrigerate it, so it needs to be chilled before you can put the batter in. To now make the batter, what you want to do is you want to put the cream cheese, the sour cream, and the caster sugar all in the food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you can also use a blender to blend all these ingredients. Or a beater. It just needs to be mixed. All the ingredients. Next, the sour cream. Now, while that's processing, you can also break in your eggs. So you have to keep blending this or processing this until all the ingredients are mixed together. And while you do, you have to add the caster sugar as well. all the ingredients have now mixed together, and it's about ready to be put into the pan. Alright, so once your batter has mixed, what you need to do is you need to melt the dark chocolate buttons in a pan. And the way I like to do it is I like to do it using a water bath system, where we have a pan underneath and it has water in it, and then I place the chocolate bowl on top, and then I just put this on the stove and then melt the chocolate that way. So the steam from the water in the pan underneath will be melting the chocolate. So once melted, your chocolate should look something like this. Yeah. Right. So next, you get your batter and you split it 2/3, 1/3. The 1/3 is going to be mixed with the chocolate, and the 2/3 is going to be laid on top of the pan. So the way I like to mix with chocolate is because this is very cold and this is very hot. I like to take a bit of the cold and put it into the hot first. That way the chocolate doesn't freeze up and then become chunks. It stays smooth. So just putting in the batter and mixing it with the chocolate now. And you will see that the batter has turned chocolatey brown. So you keep mixing it until it's all nice and even. Yep, so all the chocolate and the batter that I put in there are now mixed. So the next thing for me to do is just take this and pour it into the rest of the batter. And mix that as well. Just with a spoon. Like so. Just keep mixing until it's all nice. So now what you have is your base, your vanilla batter or white batter, and you have your chocolate batter. So step one, put a section of the vanilla batter, so about half of it, into the base. Like so, you can see, and then just spread it out evenly. So it should look something like that. So then we're just going to layer the white and the brown layers in sequence. So I put in the white layer first, and now we're going to put a bit of the chocolate layer in. So not all of it, just a bit. Try and make it nice and even. So about half of the chocolate layer went in now. You can see. I'm just trying to even it out all over the cake base. Yep. Okay. Next, I will put in the white layer again. So lastly, we will just layer the rest of the white and the chocolate layers on top. It's quite thick. So as you can see, it's about half vanilla and half chocolate now. And basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to get like a butter knife or a spreader, and then just go through and make zigzag patterns all over it. So first of all, one way. Then another way. Then diagonally. The other way diagonally. Then just across. And that should be enough mixing for that. Alright, so now that it has a beautiful pattern on the top, we can just take this and bake it in the oven for about 1 hour at 160 degrees. So, once finished baking, the cake should look something like this. Now if you see here, if you wobble it, it should still be a bit wobbly in the middle, and that's exactly how you want it. So now leave the cake to cool down in room temperature, and once the cake is cooled down, you can chill it in the fridge before serving.